Hey,
Yeah.
what's one thing that you would tell your younger self? Hey everybody, this is Kevin over at Two Shot Guys and One Mic with my main man.
It's and a mic.
And
he messes that up every
plus
time.
one mic and the mic.
Just
We're gonna have to get that.
keep it going, man. It's Kevin, so it's all Kevin.
But today we're going to talk about what's one thing that you would tell your younger self. And this is stemming from a YouTube video I had watched the other day, just talking about 5 lessons in life people learn too late. And this really resonated with me, given that there's a lot of things that I know now that I wish I could go back and kind of really just beat into my younger self, because I know if I just tell my younger self, I probably wouldn't listen, because I was hard-headed. You know, hard heads make a soft tail, right? So one thing that I can go back and kind of give myself a whooping about is that don't sleepwalk through life. Don't be nonchalant. This is something my father always used to say to me when I was younger. Do not be nonchalant. What are you going to do with your life, Kevin? And then lose fear. Be fearless. Don't let the feeling of fear torment you. And then stop complaining. And then know your destination, and then enjoy the present, the process, the pain of the process of life, and just enjoy it as much as you can, knowing that tomorrow can be better should you choose it to be. And subject yourself to a lot of the lessons that life tries to instill in my hard head.
I told Kevin, he had a list of 5. Like, man, just choose one.
Just choose one.
Which one would it be so we can have a focus? We don't want to go everywhere. We want to try to keep it focused on one particular thought. So what thought did you choose?
Well, the one I chose was stop complaining. And this really, I was forced to pick something on the list. So I liked all of them. But the one that kind of stuck out with me at this moment is the stop complaining part, in that I used to complain when I was younger, and if I could go back and tell myself to learn the lesson of stop complaining, because the quicker you learn that lesson, the easier it is for you to move on in life, and the easier it is for you to go about living a more joyous and positive life. It's going to give you as little headaches as possible. So that's the one that kind of stuck out to me, is stop complaining. And one of the things I've learned being a little older and hopefully a little wiser is that the less I complain, the less I attract complainers. That's one thing I could say, is that, you know, the less I complained at the water cooler, the more people that were positive speaking people, the more of them types of people that started to gravitate towards me, and the more I started gravitating towards them. And then another thing is, one of the things I noticed as a little side trail is that females hate complaining males.
Never thought about that. I had to check it out. But what if they complainers too? Would that even matter?
Well, it's I've heard it said that complaining is a feminine quality. I don't know how true that is. Maybe not.
Yeah, a dude. I guarantee you, a dude said that.
Yeah, a dude probably said that.
Put the blame on women, right?
The one for me is stay focused and passionate on your God-given vision. That's what Cheryl says.
Yeah, it's definitely a good one, Cheryl. Especially when you think about, like, one of the biggest objections that the scripture had was around complaining, talking about the children of Israel and all the things that they went through. I'm trying to think if I was ever a complainer. Like, yeah, I definitely complain about specific things, but I don't know. I'm trying to think about it. It's like sometimes I guess it's pointing out the obvious. Like, I like to point out a problem so it can be fixed.
Like Captain Obvious.
Yeah, but I like to fix it though.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily like to just complain for no reason, because I know a lot of reasons people complain, they don't do anything. See, my brother says that be persistent, don't vacate too soon. It takes time to succeed, sometimes years. If you stick to it long enough, you'll reach your goal. Yeah, it's definitely something you gotta tell, like, especially younger people. But here's the problem though, because me and Kevin were talking about this before it came on. I was like, I don't know if I told myself anything, if I would listen anyway.
Well, that's why I say you gotta give yourself.
Yeah, because it's like talking to younger people. I know specifically about me, right? When I was thinking, like when I was younger, even before like my transition in my mindset, nothing anybody told me even mattered, to be honest. It just didn't. So it's just like one of those like life processes. It's those things that, you know, you definitely got to plant the seed, but you don't know when that seed will grow. So it's really hard to say that, you know, if I learned this lesson when I was younger, I would have done. No, I knew a lot of stuff when I was younger. I wasn't an idiot. I mean, not to say that people
right.
But I wasn't dumb. I had a lot of information. I had access to a lot of information. Some things I just didn't care about. I just didn't. It just didn't penetrate my mind. Like somebody told me when I was younger that I need to get married. I'd be like, nah, that's not happening. It's not part of my mindset. It's not part of my life. And I mean, I talk to people like that all the time, and I'm like, yeah, you'll eventually change, but till then, you'll eventually change. So, but it's definitely a hard one.
Yeah, but even if, you know, just looking at the question, even if you just go back and are real adamant about planting that seed and making sure that seed is in that there real really good. For example, when you was talking, I was thinking about my father. He was very adamant on top of me about not sleepwalking through life. But I still sleptwalked through life for for a large percentage of it. But that seed was so ingrained that once it started to come to fruition, it's something that I've never forgotten. And it's something that I adhere to with a great tenacity, and I'm convicted about, that has helped me over the course of my life make and take stances that otherwise, if that seed wasn't pounded in there real good, lo and behold, I could still be in my 40s living like a teenager, right. Having the mindset of a teenager. So, I definitely get what you're saying, and that my younger self, I probably wouldn't listen to a lot either. But I'm thankful and grateful that there were individuals around me that just kept pounding, kept saying it, no matter what, in order for those seeds to even be there and plant it, which is why it's good to have this conversation, I think. And why it's good to repeatedly have these conversations around younger people and just people in general, because there's a lot of people that don't get this kind of conversation.
Yeah, sure. The comments said, we enjoy you too, but we thank you just for stopping by and even listening to us. Right?
Yeah.
Just two dudes in the office talking.
Just two dudes in the office talking.
She's enjoying this time with us, and she's forming her new vision board. Yeah, definitely. Hopefully we'll say some things that'll help you construct your vision board to accomplish the things that you want out of life. One thing I was thinking as Kevin was talking about what I would tell my younger self, but again, I don't know if it would have mattered, is to read more. Like I said, I used to go through a lot of different books, a lot of different kinds of information. I liked information. I was like one of those kinds of people, like where I like getting new. Like one of my daughters is just like that. Like she doesn't like necessarily reading fantasy books, but she loves knowing facts. She loves knowing different kinds of information, and that's one of the things that I loved when I was growing up. So that was kind of my bend toward that kind of stuff. But I wish I took the time to really study more, study it more, as opposed to just glancing over things and just but just really diving into it. But yeah, that's one of the only things I can really think of. But yeah, just living in the moment, I think would be definitely be beneficial, like you mentioned.
That's a good one. Just to like number 5 says, enjoy the present and actually be mindful of where you're at right now and just enjoy it. It allows us to slow down. Yes, man, that's right on top of it. Yeah. Slow down and enjoy the simple things in life. Living too fast, you'll miss the important things in life. Focus on making memories over materialistic things.
Oh, for sure. It's definitely, because one of the things as I get older, I realize, that's a good one too, brother. We'll get to that one. I realize is that materialistic things, and again, this is partially because I worked in a manufacturing environment. I worked for a company that did manufacturing, and you realize how cheaply things are made, and you think about it, and it's like, their stuff is so cheap. Why do people risk their lives for it? But yeah, see, Robert, he brought up a good one. He said, forgive yourself. As a young person, you'll definitely make tons of mistakes. I mean, that's part of youth, right? It's part of growing up. It's part of those kinds of things. You'll make tons of mistakes. things that you can't necessarily correct, but things that you can improve upon. One of our friends, me and Lamar talk about all the time, a dude named Matt Oatley. Shout out to Matt if he ever sees this. He says he and his wife never should on each other. In other words, they never say, you should have done this, you should have done that, because it's past. You can't do anything that you should have done, but you can work on the things you can do now. Yeah. So when thinking about that kind of process, tons of mistakes. Thinking about that, you have to just realize that, okay, I can't necessarily change what happened, but from this point forward, this is what I'm going to do. And that's kind of the way I look at life now. Even in the house, it's like, okay, this happened. What are we going to do from this point forward? It is what it is. You have to go from that basis point forward.
Man, that's right on top of, then I seen where Bilal says, travel more, travel abroad.
Yeah.
Yes. That is a definite must as far as the world we live in. And there's so much world out there that sometimes we miss so much of it because we're so caught up in where we're at now. And you lose focus in everyday life. So I would definitely tell my younger self to travel more, travel abroad, get cultured, and just develop the drive and the tenacity, the desire to want to see how other people live in other places. There's so much diversity and variety in ways of living that it's a beautiful place that we live in.
Yeah, it can definitely change your worldview. Yes. I would definitely encourage parents that have the capabilities. And actually, if you have a car, take your kids somewhere. Take them out of town. Even take them, not necessarily, it doesn't even have to be out of town. Take them to experience new aspects of life. Take them to a museum. Take them to a play. Take them to things that you necessarily didn't experience when you were younger, to broaden their horizons, to broaden their scope of what the world is and what it can be. And now we have the advent of the internet. There's so many things that can be learned. There's so many things that can be experienced that you don't even have to necessarily be presently there. However, traveling to new places and meeting new people. It might even be traveling to other neighborhoods.
Yeah,
something as simple as that.
Town.
Yeah, traveling to other neighborhoods, going to a park that's out of your neighborhood, experiencing other kinds of people, go to different cultural locations, go to different people's churches, see how they worship.
Yep.
Just to get a broad-based view on how people interact in this life, that can be very rewarding as well.
Man, you said other people's churches. I was just thinking how that really changed my perception about worship and the variety of different ways people worship. When I used to be a musician, just being in other people's churches and being in different environments, it really opens up your mind as far as the bigness and the variety and the beautifulness of just when it comes to humans and their relationship with the Creator,
For sure.
So everybody doesn't have to worship or be the same way.
Yeah, and also one of the things that benefited me a lot, one of my best friends in college named Weezer, shout out to Weezer, she's watching. She was from Zambia, and I got to hang out with her friends. They were from different continents, different countries, and just even experiencing their talks and the things that they were concerned about. It changed. Again, those experiences from other people, listening to other people's stories, it gives you a new perspective on ordinary things, actually.
Man. And then I was reading Cheryl Phillips' comment about never letting pride prevent me from starting again. That's a big one.
That's huge. That's huge.
Life has a way of breaking that pride down. I tell you, if you let it, the lesson of pride breaking down can be hard. But once you learn it, it makes life so much more easier to deal with because, no one man or woman knows it all or has it all.
Yeah.
And just letting go of that pride really takes a lot of weight off for your shoulders, my shoulders, that realizing that I do need help and I do need relationship and I do need others and I don't have to be strong enough to hold up everything.
Yeah. To hold up. That's a good point because there's a song by Lecrae on his new album. It goes like just a little hurt, just a little pain. And basically, I can't remember the name of it, but basically it talks about the fact that other people look at you as being a certain kind of position. People think that you're perfect. Mm-hmm. So the pride of other people, the esteem that they have for you can prevent you from being humble. It can prevent you from doing things that you really want to do, but the fear of what other people may think of you may stop you from doing that. So that pride definitely has an adverse effect on our growth. It has an adverse effect on the humility that we sometimes need in order to grow, in order to submit ourselves. So we have to be mindful of those kinds of things, because again, it all fights against our psychology, right?
Man.
You know, and it's like, man, I really want to do this, but if I like for example, I'll use worship as an example, right?
Yeah.
You know, somebody may have a call to the altar, and it's like, you know, I really want to go up, but everybody thinks that I'm already on top, so I don't want them to necessarily know I'm struggling with some stuff still, and that kind of stuff can just play with you internally, and we got to get, you know, past that. It's like, hey, drop your pride. Realize, like, hey, I say I'm not perfect all the time. My wife can definitely attest to that. My kids can attest to that.
Hey, look at all them likes coming up. You said,
yeah, but again, it's like, you just understand who you are and where you are, and it's like, you know what? I'm still trying to get this right. I'm still trying to walk on this path just like everybody else. And again, if we stop putting people on pedestals and realize that we're more here as we are here, regardless of class, regardless of whatever, then we can do more stuff together, and we can collaborate and be better.
Man, that's a big one when it comes to pride.
Yeah, for sure.
And then Blau said, be less shy, more talkative, and meet new people, developing and maintaining a positive network. That is so on point, man. When I was younger, being an introvert, I know y'all saying like, yeah, right, y'all got a show on Elisha, y'all ain't too shy. But really, you know, it's our why of why we do this talks is what drives us to get past and do things that you see us doing. But yeah, I wish I can go back and tell my younger self to be more talkative and to meet new people. That is very important, and it's very enriching. Finding it that when you just connect soul to soul with somebody and just let them be them, you be you, and you conversate with conversation. You know, you just have a conversation, and it allows you just to be a person. Yeah. And just to fall in love with connecting with another person. Yeah, and just letting them be them and you be you. That's very powerful. Yeah,
I began to just think about it. It was a good point, but just me thinking about it. When I was really young, I really wasn't an introvert. I like go through like ebbs and flows of being an extrovert, being an introvert, being an extrovert, being an introvert. Yeah, and I think I really became more introverted when the more studying I started doing. Right, I started almost collapsing in on myself in terms of thinking about, when I started working on me, I think that's when I became an introvert more so than anything, because I used to be a clown and all of that kind of stuff. You know, I still like to have fun, don't get me wrong. But the more I started working on myself and changing the issues within me that I didn't like, that's when I think I became more of an introvert, right? I was trying to like for me, the biggest transition happened in my life when I became a Christian, and I started looking at my path, right? I started looking at my outlook on life and those kinds of things, and reading the scriptures actually started changing my mind and changing the way I thought about life and the way I valued life and the way I valued other people. And so it began this internal process for me to where I had to work and grow. And I think that's when I became kind of more secluded. I still had my friends and those kinds of things, but that's when I started going into the transition of being more shy and less out there, and then from there it kind of flipped on itself. Like I used to be out there when it came to silly things, but I used to be shy when it came to expressing knowledge. And it just varied, right? There was so many different variables in it, and now it's like I got to the point where it's like I still maybe was considered shy, but I'm not afraid, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, I mean,
the fear's not there.
Yeah, what you were saying really is like a rewiring going on.
Yeah, definitely. It was definitely a rewiring process for me. Like I said, a lot of times that's why I was like, if I tell myself when I was younger certain things, I wouldn't have listened.
Good, the connection wouldn't have been there.
If I was my own son, I'd probably beat myself a lot.
That's kind of crazy when you think about it.
See, Trey. Yeah, go ahead, read it.
Trey says, I'm not shy at all, but for some reason I'm not comfortable being on videos like this.
Yeah, I feel you.
And I want to what do you say?
Yeah.
And I want to and have been offered to chat live with groups online. You can't get up the nerve.
Yeah, bro. What I would tell you, man, is like, again, I understand personalities is different. We talked about personalities earlier today.
Yeah.
Like for me, the way I get over some things is like jumping off the diving board.
Yep.
I just do it. I don't think about what the form's going to look like. I don't think about if I'm going to get a perfect 10 on the entry. I just jump off, cannonball it, and then from there I figure it out. So Trey, what I would suggest, just get comfortable with being uncomfortable and doing things that you don't like. Just try it, man, because we build up things in our mind more often than not. Like I'll talk about some issues I have with me, right? When I was younger, I used to be like, man, I used to hate my skinny legs. And then one day I came to the realization, it's like, man, I'm skinny. Of course my legs are going to be skinny. So yeah, Lamar's downstairs. But yeah, it's just like, Lamar's here, gotcha. Yeah, so it's like sometimes you just have to just get over yourself, get over your own trepidations about doing things. It's like, it is what it is. Like Lamar tell you, like me and Lamar, like we two of the same kind of people. Like we just don't care. I used to have to be G'd up and fly man. Sometimes my wife like, you going outside looking like that? I'm like, I don't even care. So it's that kind of stuff, man. So just, I would advise you just to try it. Next time we have a jump-in show, Trey, make sure you get on it, bro.
Yeah.
I know you'll be watching.
Yeah, let him come on. We can do like a little invite him on. Maybe do like a little three-way or something like that, a group chat. But just to go back to what Trey's talking about real quick, one of the things that I've done, because I definitely feel this pain or have felt this pain, is that one of the things that I did when I first started just like getting in live chats and videos and stuff was I listened to a guy say, just take out your phone, talk into it, and don't send it to anybody. And just get comfortable with just being in front of the screen. That's one of the things that I use when if you go back and you research my name, you'll see like old videos of me on YouTube, like from years ago, that nobody's probably seen, but it's just me, just like, just with the phone and just getting comfortable being comfortable talking in front of a screen. It can be a little unnerving when you actually think about it, but just don't think about it. Just, I even get butterflies whenever we do these live streams a lot of times. Whenever I hit that button, you don't know what you're going to say.
Like, let's jump out there, let's do it. I may look stupid, I may look like an idiot. Who cares? It's just one moment in life, and chances are I won't even look at myself out there. Anyway.
All right.
See, too many times, this is Cheryl said, too many times I trusted everybody as PK, I don't know what the preacher's kid.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I thought everyone was nice. I had no discernment. I mean, it's just time. It just comes with time. I mean, when you're a kid, it's just the way it is, right? You're naive to the world. You're naive to the way things are in life, and that just comes with experience. And again, but you do definitely have to learn to trust people more. You have to learn to, again, accept people for who they are, whether they're imperfect or not. And that's kind of a hard obstacle to overcome sometimes. Is just to trust people. Like, it's like, okay, me and Kevin doing a live show. We've never done anything like this before together.
Right.
So it's just like, well, I just trust he's going to do what he said he's going to do, and we'll take it from there. And so far we've been doing it. So sometimes you just have to start letting people in incrementally.
Yeah.
Right. I'm not saying like, oh yeah, you can come in, you can, use my house, do whatever.
Right.
Some people have the ability to do that. I'm not that person myself.
Right.
I just trust people in increments, right? I try not to prejudge people in terms of what I think they'll do. I'll give them little leeway before I can flat out trust somebody. And again, it's discrimination, discernment, all of that stuff. It really is a part of life. I understand, discrimination is a buzzword for this kind of stuff. But sometimes you have to discriminate. If I see somebody carrying a gun, I'm going to discriminate. I'm going to I'm not going to go near that person. Maybe there's a reason why they're carrying it, and over time I can understand that. But initially, nah, bro, I'm not going to deal with you. So it's just those kinds of things. And again, we have to start, it just takes time. It takes navigating life. The more people you meet, the better, the more capable you are of discerning people. Again, it's just part of life. Really
discernment is definitely a part of life. I thought, just real quick, Adrian Bate had a good comment.
Okay, to Trey?
To Trey, talking about create a podcast and talk about what you love.
Yeah, I know Adrian. I know she does a podcast. Shout out to Adrian. So what's up with the advice? What's up, Lamar? Downstairs. What's happening? Yeah, no problem, Trey. See, Cheryl said it was realizing a snake is designed to bite. I mean, it's true,
man,
right?
Yeah, it goes back to a conversation we were having earlier, talking about personality and temperament and just people in general. Is that when we learn to have space, like you were talking about being incremental, you give somebody a little room and watch, see how they move and maneuver and act and behave. And then if it's something you like, then you give them more space.
Yeah, and not only that, it's like, I mean, we live in a different age where you can actually look at people's resumes.
Look at their timeline.
Yeah, look at people's resumes, look at the timeline, look at what people are saying about them. And
Man,
if there's a large contingency of people are saying that somebody's a certain way, then there may be some truth to that, right? And you don't want to take that stuff lightly. So you definitely have to be aware of those kinds of things, be aware of conversations. And here's the thing, you got to learn to discern between gossip and truth.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times, I know you're a preacher's kid in churches, and it's really just microcosms of communities, right?
Yeah, churches are extensions of the community.
So it's just like figuring out, where you get your information. Understand the source of where you get your information. Somebody say, hello, guys. We haven't gotten to you yet, so we can't see it. Hey, what's going on, Mwando? Yeah, there was another conversation. Go scroll up. There you go. Yeah, Bilal said if he could go back, he would have taken his education and studies more seriously.
Bilal's on it.
The mind is the greatest weapon you have. If you could go back, what I would tell you is to listen to me more. For real. Big brother type. It's hard for little brother. Bilal's my brother for y'all that don't know. It's hard sometimes for younger siblings to take the advice of older siblings. And a lot of stuff that you tell your sibling, they don't necessarily want to hear from you. But sometimes you got to tell the people that love you, if they're giving you some advice, consider it. And that's real talk, because if they love you, chances are they're trying to help you avoid mistakes that they see you
made. Education and studies.
Yeah,
he's on point in that it's very important that self-education is just as on par with the formal education.
No, that's more important.
Yeah, I was going to say
I don't even consider it on par, to be honest. You definitely have to self-educate.
Yes.
I know, like, being an employer, Lamar and I, when we look for like people that we hire, that's one of the things we look for, people that learn. One of the things that I've learned from people that I consider successful, and not necessarily wealthy, but successful, is that they have a wide knowledge base of different things in the world. Like, they understand about from sports to science to sociology. It's like the breadth of information covers a wide gambit of fields, and that all comes from self-study.
Man.
Yeah.
And Wado Denny?
No, there was some other ones before that. I want to get them in order. I don't want to skip anybody.
Gotcha.
Yeah, he also said not to worry about what others think. Yeah, that's definitely true, because they can hold you back. But here's the nuance of worrying about what other people think, right? Mm-hmm. Sometimes what they think is important to know. It's definitely important to know. Like,
so you're saying have a healthy respect.
Yeah, for people's opinions.
Attitude about
and again, it depends on where they're coming from. It's like, I'm of the mindset, if people don't like me and what they think, or if they have an animus toward me, I don't know who those people are. There's guaranteed to be some, right? If they have an animus toward me, then I don't necessarily care what they think, but I do care about what the people that love me think. I do care about that, because their opinions definitely matter, because, again, like I said, they're looking to build me up as opposed to tear me down.
So would you give even some room to the animus, or even the
I mean, again, it's feedback, right?
Okay.
And then certain things, it's like, okay, am I going to listen to a racist feedback on me? No, because he's already dismissed me from the jump. Right?
Gotcha.
Whereas somebody that may not know me, they'd be like, you know what? I don't necessarily, like, for example, anybody that's coming in on this broadcast, they're like, you know what? I don't like the way you move your hands. Yeah. Then it's a consideration I have to think about. It's like, you know what? Maybe I'll just do this.
Because some people do get distracted.
Yeah. So it really depends. But I definitely understand the sentiment of what you're saying. I'm not going to let other people's opinions make me fearful. And that's definitely something you shouldn't do. I know Lamar said something silly down there, but we'll get to it. Said question, Facebook.
Let me identify myself. I have been here 9 years. It is odd. Is it odd that somebody encountered this recently? He's talking about Facebook having them in identify themselves?
Yeah, I don't know, to be honest. I don't know in which way that they try to identify you. I don't know if they're trying to get your phone information. Most software companies are trying to get more information from you, especially a platform like Facebook, because it's a variety of different reasons, right? One is so advertisers can advertise to you, so they can really know and they can sell that information and those kinds of things.
Yep.
And sometimes it's just for personal I don't know if they're trying to confirm more of the identities on Facebook.
Yep. They're training their AI to be more accurate with identification and personality, and also we're being siloed into groups, and so we can easily be, like you said, marketed to.
Yeah. And also make sure that it's Facebook that's actually asking those questions.
Yes.
There's plenty of spam out there. There's plenty of people phishing, PHISHING, trying to glean more information from you that's not part of Facebook. So just definitely be careful with that.
Yep.
Okay, go ahead.
Was introduced to C programming before I was a teen. Would have taken that on harder. Spent more time mastering the principles in the Bible.
Gotcha. Yeah, definitely. It's one thing I know from a lot of different people. It really depends on where they are in terms of geography, location, in terms of churches. Some churches put more of an emphasis on education than others. Me and my wife actually had this conversation last night. Definitely. When opportunities come your way, you definitely don't want those things to pass you by. I'm definitely a Bible person. I believe wholeheartedly in the Bible, but I do know the importance of studying other things. And for me, I will say this, is that when I started reading the scriptures, actually, I was in college and I didn't want to read anything else. That's how much into it and how much it started transforming my life I was. However, I did understand the importance of, you know what? I have to live in this world as well. I have to prepare myself. I have to have a spirit of excellence when I'm doing certain things. So I can't become so consumed in one thing that I neglect everything else.
Man.
And that's part of discipline as well.
That's hitting on a lot of issues. That's hitting on a deep issue when it comes to culture church culture. And that in church culture, we often overlook or don't place
it depends on the church. It depends on the environment of the church. It depends, because I know that there's one thing I do notice. People that have churches that have pastors with formal educations push education more than churches that don't.
Yeah.
So and also time frame. You got to look at the time. This goes into sociology aspect of stuff. You have to look at the time frame in which the church was founded.
Yep, the context.
The context in which the church was founded. Was it founded, if it was a majority black church, was it founded during the era of segregation?
Yep.
And, all of these things are involved. So even though your church history knowing your church history can be information that can help you even understand the people of the church and the mindset that's behind the church. So it's a lot of these things that go into why certain people gravitate certain things and why they teach the way they do. Understanding that can actually help you navigate through that.
Man, and that goes back to what Denny was talking about when he said learn the principles. Because when you learn principles, then that lays the foundation or the template on which you can actually view and filter the strategies, tactics, the everyday life. So when you have that template of the principles from a Christian perspective in your head, it helps you get a proper filter on which you can filter everyday life. So I mean that's very on point. You somebody in college too. Yeah. What you're doing is putting that filter in your head, and it helps keep you above and beyond everybody else.
Okay. Yeah, where are we at? I think we missed something. I know I saw June. What's up, June? That's my dude.
That's where we stopped at right there.
Mwando Denny. June, he mentioned our IKEA chair. Yeah, bro, we got IKEA all up in this place. Let's see. Something else happened. Oh, yeah, Lamar said he didn't like me some days. Vice versa, man. Vice versa. Yeah, that's my homie, though.
But hey, there's a lesson in that being in a relationship with Lamar doesn't mean that you're not going to have moments where you may not really like him, or he may not like you, or even just any relationship in general. You know, it may be moments where you wake up to your significant other and you're like, I really don't like this person.
Lamar's my brother from a Wanda mother. But yeah, it's definitely those things. And again, we talked about it earlier today as one of the lessons in Sabbath school today. We're talking about conflicts, personality conflicts. And sometimes, like I said, personalities shift.
Yes.
Throughout the day, it shifts based on, it's like, my wife calls me hangry sometimes when I don't eat, my sugar's low, and it's like, hey, I get very short.
I need a biscuit.
It's like, okay, I'm like, I don't have conversations, I just give yes and no answers to stuff, and so I love you all day. I don't even know who said that. Yeah, I love you too all days, brother, I really do, even when I want to shake you sometimes. Nah, but for real, but it's just personality sometimes, and you have to understand that, right? You have to understand, like, for example, say Kevin went through a hardship, and I have to understand that his personality is going to be reacting to that hardship, or that his day may change. And so I can't just go to him, hey man, what you ain't talking for, man? I can't harass him, because I have to understand the nuances of his
personality,
of life, right? It's just life changes and molds us, and it just, I can't even get it out.
But that's something that, that, like you're talking, I wish that my younger self would understand, is that just because I say hi, just understanding the personality nuances.
Yes.
And just understanding that people are in different ways at different moments in life.
Yep.
Just because I say hello to somebody one time and they don't respond, and they do the next time I do, I don't have to hold something within me towards that person.
Yeah.
I can just let it go.
Yeah, and sometimes it's not what you think.
It's not what, okay.
Yeah, it's like, as a quiet person, like I said, my default switch is quiet, and I just understand it. I know your father said the same. I think that's why we get along so much.
Yeah.
Me and Kevin's dad, it's like, we got similar personalities. Yeah, scroll back up. I think we missed it. Okay, yeah, we can go now.
All right.
Said, okay, Cheryl, she said it was odd. Yeah, be very careful answering that information, Cheryl. And even if you don't fill out all the information on Facebook, you can still use it. So if you have an issue or concern with it, then don't fill it out.
Yeah, don't fill it out.
Mwando, I think I'm pronouncing your name right. It said, we allow religion to blind us instead of the actual truths and principles in the scripture. Yeah, and also we got to be careful. Like, this is almost like this is going to slightly go there, but I'll come back.
Okay.
One of the things that I personally don't like is when people talk about religion, right? Because I define religion as the scriptures define it. True and undefiled religion is this: visiting the widowless and the fatherless in their time of need. So when I think about religion, I think about actually helping people, because that's the way the scriptures define it. I know in today's time, we define it as being organized structures, organized institutions, and that I can definitely understand. And this goes back to what I was saying about understanding when a particular institution was founded, the premise behind which it was founded, and that can change the context of how they teach, how they give out information. So we got to be very, very careful. And he said, like you said, don't let it blind us, but allow the truths of the principles of the scriptures to guide us. And that's where you have to stand. That is truly where you have to stand. I know I've been at odds with different institutions I've been in, because I myself personally, I always lean toward what the scriptures say. And then when I say scriptures, I'm referring to the Bible.
Yeah, that comes back to what we're talking about as far as developing understanding. Yeah. And that when you have the foundation of the principles in the scripture, that helps you understand the religion or the organization that is claiming to stand on top of those principles.
Yeah, that is correct.
So that you have a clear view of whatever organization you're dealing with, or you may or may not come into fellowship or alignment with.
Yep.
So that's very good, Mwando, when he talks about actually knowing the truths for yourself and spending time.
I definitely agree.
Yeah.
And this goes back to the self-learning, right?
Self-learning, self-education.
This is part of life, and that's one of the things that we have to get. It's like, it's up to us to live our lives.
Man.
Nope, I can't live Kevin's life. I can't, as much as I would like to, I can't live my children's lives. I can't keep them out of all the dangerous things of this world. I can't keep them out of all the calamities of a bad decision, even though I would love to do that more than anything on earth, right?
Yeah.
But guess what? I would probably mess up anyway.
Yep.
So it's those kinds of things, and you have to, just having the latitude to think about life as being this ever evolving thing, and I hate to even use the word evolution, right? But it's this ever changing thing, and the way that we interact with it is really not set in stone. So it's like being like water, being able to flow and smooth out the rough edges of life and those kinds of things. So navigating this world, you have to constantly learn. You have to be willing to bend and not break. Nina said, balance and disciplined life, building a biblical foundation to help in our daily walk in life. Yeah, definitely. I mean, it definitely helps. I know I mentioned in the last one we did, just loss and pain and losing loved ones. Those things actually help ground you, because like the loss of life, especially like I didn't even mention like my best friend, he committed suicide when I was away at college. I mean, that devastated me. I mean, it like hurt me to the core. And it was actually the last time I saw my father alive. And so it was like, which is another death that occurred after that. And it's just like those kinds of things, and having that foundation can help get you through hard times and rough times. Because for me, being a Christian personally, I know that this is not the end of my life. Right. This is just one segment of my eternal existence, and that's the way I view life, and that's the way I view things. So when I put that mindset in perspective, sometimes it gets fuzzy, right? You get caught up in life and you forget about that. But when I keep that in my mindset, then I know that, you know what, and that's why I don't have to worry about the past as much, right? It's like, you know what, this is where I am right now. Let's go from here forward. So I don't get caught up in regrets and those kinds of things, because I know that I still have to press toward the mark.
Man, having a proper, like you said, having a proper biblical foundation does help in daily walk in life, and it helps bring balance. And just kind of jumping off what you were saying is that it helps in that you lose the fear of death. Yeah. And you realize that there is more to this matrix, as I often put it, than meets the eye. And it does help bring balance and discipline in life, in that you realize you can't get into everything because everything's not for your benefit. Yeah,
and also even just to go back to something that we mentioned earlier at the beginning of the broadcast, talking about what we would tell our earlier selves, is live in the moment.
Live in the moment.
Right. Enjoy this stuff. I don't know, like last night we had like a DJ battle. I was just happened to still be. We had a DJ battle. We was having a DJ battle. We was like, you know what, Lamar, like, let's go live with it. And that's just fun, right? Just having fun, just enjoying life, enjoying the presence of your brothers and sisters, enjoying the presence of your family. Live in the moment, because again, those moments are fleeting.
Oh man,
they're very fleeting. It's like when I look at my kids, I have young kids. Every time I see them, I hug on them, and I kiss them, and I do it a lot, because I know that they're only going to be this age and this small for so long, and then they will become adults.
It's funny though, because every time I see them, it's like, dang, they getting big.
Oh man,
it's like, man, I remember it was like this, and when you a little kid, people used to say about you, but like you said, time is fleeting, and things moving so fast you don't realize it.
Yeah, because if you see me with my family, my girls will always be hugged up on me and everything, because that's the kind of environment we try to provide in our household. Because again, we know that it's only for a small moment. You talked about, like you wish you had spent a lot of the years when you were younger doing certain things. Yep. Guess what? That's such a small segment of our life. The life, like if you're an adult, your adult years far outweigh your childhood. Yeah. So, but childhood becomes so nostalgic, because that's when we started formulating our minds and our ideas. But childhood is such a small segment of our lives, and we can't overemphasize it, but we can't underemphasize it as well. Yeah. Just finding that balance, like Nina was saying. See, June. See, I would have told myself to be more present. It's funny, we just talked about that. He says Matthew chapter 6 talks about we should not worry about things, even the birds and the plants. They don't plant or anything. They are still taken good care by God. I definitely agree. There was more there. See, let's click more. Yeah, and in 1 Timothy chapter 6, it talks about how greed of money is root of all evil. And scroll up. Yeah, it's hard navigating stuff on I don't have my computer in front of me. I got a tablet, and it's just as bad as the phone. See, scroll up. I can't see it because of the DJ thing. Yeah, and much more on the value of faith in Christ. Yeah, definitely. We can't allow, again, what June's talking about is like these material things, right? It says for the love of money in the scriptures, not
that's
money
what we were
itself.
talking about earlier.
Yeah, for the love of money is the root of all evil in 1 Timothy chapter 6. And basically going back to what Mwando was saying, what Nina was saying, there has to be a balance in our lives, right? Understanding the fact that these materials goods are man-made.
But that's, man, like, yeah, but that's really a hard concept for me when I was younger, because I was
for sure.
When I was younger, that's all when you're younger, it's all you really look at.
Stuff.
You just want stuff.
Yeah, it's like I wanted stuff on top of stuff, and it's like, and as an adult, I tell people like, quit giving my kids stuff. It's funny how your mindset transitions between when you're a kid versus when you're a parent.
When you
it's like,
it's
like, man, I want all of this stuff out of my house. This is a burden. And it's the burden of organization, is the burden of keeping track of
the burden of you having to go out and trade life force energy for paper.
Yeah. So look at this stuff in perspective, right? Everything has to have perspective. When I look at money, I look at it in terms of opportunity and resources, right?
Yeah.
Having more money means that I can help more people. It means that I can give more people opportunities to come out of squalor and bad situations. So yeah, it just provides opportunity, and that's the way I personally view money. It provides me with time.
It's a tool.
Yeah, the more money I have, the more time I have, because I can offset different things. I can pay other people to do certain things. So just start changing your mindset of how you look at things. Like you said, if you look at it as a tool, then you become the master of that tool as opposed to having that master you.
Man, when you said time, I was thinking of the movie Time with Justin Timberlake.
It's like,
where they took out money and just said time.
Yeah, exactly. You running out of life today.
Yeah.
You gone. See, so happy to be listening to some solid. Hey, bro, we appreciate you.
Yeah, we definitely appreciate
We appreciate your feedback. We appreciate your just interaction. We appreciate just all of it. Seriously. Lamar's probably smiling from earlier. Yeah, I know we're kind of slow getting to some of these comments. He said he loved me all day. I love you too, brother. He said, okay, Nina says, we get it twisted. We're drawn. I don't know how to make that blue thing move. So we're drawn and get distracted with the culture of Christ rather than embrace and fall in love with Christ. Let's scroll up. Embrace
the one who came to seek and save the lost.
I mean, that's true. It's like sometimes, for example, I'm going to use a marriage analogy, right? Mm-hmm. It's like, man, I love the concept of my wife. I love the concept of who she is. I never talked to her.
That's way different than actually.
It's way different. Because some people truly love the concept of being something versus the reality of it, right?
Like, versus reality. Waking up and your breath is stinking. It's like, hello.
And not only that, it's paying bills. Waking up, it's a whole lot of things. It's like, think about it. Your personality changed. Their personality changed. Your father talked about this earlier. He's been married for 40 years. You're talking about personality changing over that time. And that's just the way life is. Sometimes people get caught up in the concept and don't focus on the reality. So, yeah, we definitely have to get focused on the reality of what Christ came to do, who he was, and who he is, develop a true relationship with him. And again, I know for some people they're like, what is he talking about? It says the gospel is foolishness to them that are lost. So if you don't understand the concept of Christianity, then this may seem like far fleeting or just crazy. But the reality is drawing closer. Taste and see that the Lord is good. That kind of stuff. Once you understand that, then it truly starts permeating your life. It starts permeating your heart. Then you start bearing the evidence that we talked about earlier in class. You start bearing the evidence of having Christ in your life, and you start to change. Again, I'm not the person that I used to be, right? There's a lot of things about me that have changed over time and changed because of the scriptures that I read, the relationship with Christ, and even the way I deal with my wife. I was thinking about this. I know I'm getting sidetracked, but I'll come back.
Yep.
And I was thinking about it just in the terms of like me and my wife have never called each other names. We as a family, we don't curse. I haven't cursed in probably like 20 years. I know it sounds crazy, but it's just those kinds of things, right? And it's just like, and this is an agreement that I made with myself before I even had a wife. These are some things that I said that I wanted to do because I wanted to change who I was. Because going back to the personality I had, I didn't like. There were certain aspects of my life that I didn't like and I wanted to get rid of. And in order to make those changes permanent, you have to really, that's how I became an introvert in certain instances.
Go inside.
Dig deep and change that stuff. And again, it's not to say that I'm perfect. It's not to say that I don't have, changes in mood or things like that.
Right.
Certain things I will not cross the line on, and that's one of them. And so again, it's just developing that culture in the household and developing that in our lives.
Man.
Let's see, June. Happy Saturday, brothers from Seattle. Oh, I didn't realize you was in Seattle, June. That's what's up, bro. Thanks.
Seattle in the house.
Yeah, blessings to you, man, if you're still here. I love that dude. For real, June's a good people. Same to all. Happy Saturday from Vegas. What's going on,
Vegas?
baby? I didn't realize you was in Vegas.
Uh-oh.
Peace to the West Coast. Said, yes, DJ Mar won. Yeah, she's talking about last night, the DJ battle. Yeah, Gus was stinking last night. See, Susan, I don't want stuff. I just want to leave the plant. Hey,
man,
it's real.
she is hitting it.
Yeah,
that's one of the underlying themes of this show is to have a conversation develop around leaving and staying off the plantation every way that you possibly can. It may not happen overnight, but you know we're doing this as personal development, and that the whole show is about. The whole discussions that we have are about developing ourselves in every way, facet possible to live as free as humanly possible as you can in this world.
That's one of the things, like Lamar and I, our previous company was called 212s, and it was based around the Joshua and Caleb, how they were two of the spies that went in and spied the promised land and came back with a good report. And one of the things that we always talked about, it was our running theme for each other and then for everybody we came in contact with, was being free from the plantation, the Exodus, right? Exiting, going into the promised land, leaving Pharaoh and all of those kinds of things. For us, the analogy was based on a job. And again, we were happy being broke. Again, I'm giving another Lecrae reference. He had a song called "Broke,"
We need some
and
Lecrae in the back.
and it said, "Being broke made me rich."
Wow,
and it's a great song. I love the new Lecrae album. I didn't give it a chance when I first heard it. I was like, that sounds too much like this new stuff. But when I started listening to it, there were a lot of truths in it that resonated with me and even my kids. They love it, so I was like, it's a song, some music I can listen to with my kids. And like you said, being broke made me rich. Being low made me high. And just all of these things that built up the foundation of who he was. So Susan, definitely start planning, budgeting, all of those kinds of things. Find your number. And that's one of the things we talk about. People find your number. Whatever your number is, find that. And what I mean by that is, what does it take for you to live? And I'm talking about bare minimum. I'm not talking about extravagancy and all of that. Find your bare minimum number that if you can replicate that number, then you can exit the plantation. Figure out what the number is and start striving toward that number every month out of your normal job.
Replicate the number doing what you actually want to do.
And me and Kevin had this conversation before and we talked about his business, which is kind of how we got on doing
how
this.
we doing this,
And it's like once you find your number, then it's like, okay, my number just say if you're on the West Coast, then it's probably higher than it is in the Midwest. But so say your number is $4,000 a month. We'll just say that, right? Figure out what you need to do to make that $4,000 every month outside of your job. And again, using some Dave Ramsey principles or maybe even some Boyce Watkins principles. Yep. Save up 6 months worth of salary. Yeah, save up 6 months worth of income to cushion yourself, right? Once you have that, then it's like, okay, I can give myself 6 months to do whatever it is I need to do to figure it out. And even if you don't have the 6 months, start again. He talked about multiple streams. We talk about a lot of these things zigzagging. Maybe we need to start labeling some of these songs. We talked about even coming up with multiple streams of income. Figure out what your skill sets are. Take time. It's a Saturday. You may not be working. Take time to figure out what your skill sets are and what you can monetize. There are a lot of things that you probably do. If somebody's hiring you, then you have a skill set.
Man.
Most people don't think about that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, most people don't consider that. It's like if you've been doing something for 20 years or maybe even 2 months, then somebody valued you enough and your skill set enough to pay you for it. Figure out how to get paid on it by yourself. And that will help you leave the plantation.
Man.
Okay, next one. You got any more comments on that?
Well, you're right on it. Talking about if somebody's hired you for it, then just figure out how to do it for yourself. They
value you. Yeah, that means you're valuable.
And when you said that, I was thinking about when I was hired to do cleaning.
Yeah.
And then I started doing it for myself.
Yeah, because think about it, it's needed. It's valuable. Like a lot of times, like I know I don't want to beat this too long, but we get caught up in the kind of work we do as opposed to the fact that we're able to do it.
Yeah.
Value the fact that you're able to do it, because again, the one thing I always tell Kevin: if people can make billions and millions of dollars selling sandwiches, then there's opportunity for you on this earth.
That's ridiculous.
I know our emotions can get involved, like when you lose a job, or even thinking about the hardships that may come with house payments, bills, and all of that kind of stuff. But if you can separate yourself from that emotion just for a moment and just start analyzing the circumstances, it's like, you know what? I can do this. If I've done this before to get here, then I can do something else to maintain it. And sometimes maybe the lifestyle you're living is not worth maintaining.
Oh, man.
Maybe you need to change the lifestyle.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's like she said, she doesn't want material things. So if you have that mindset, then you can save yourself a lot of expenses.
Yeah.
A lot of it. It's like going back to the health and wellness that Kevin is always pushing. If you value your health and your wellness, then you can save yourself a lot of expenses, because some of the biggest expenses in our life are medical. And so that medical bills will kill you. So if you start totaling this stuff up, right? You know, your father mentioned it earlier. You know, I use a lot of associative thinking. I think about different scenarios and different things people say. His father said, you know, no man builds a barn until they count up the cost. Start counting up the cost of your life. Start counting up the cost of the life you want to live, and then you'll figure out how to make it happen. And I know that's what I do personally. I know that's what Lamar does. I know that's what Kevin's doing. That's what we're doing in our household. So start counting up those costs and figuring out what that hard number is. Figure it out, and I'm telling you, it'll give you peace. It'll give you energy.
Yeah.
It'll give you force and all of that kind of stuff.
Man.
See, Marcia Newsom, happy Saturday from the UK. What's up?
What up?
Across the pond, so to speak.
Yeah.
We appreciate you valuing what we're saying. We definitely appreciate that. See, sure.
Live to leave a legacy, leave an inheritance.
Oh man,
in many ways.
Man, I had that talk with his grandmother today. She was talking about how she's already paid for her coffin, her plot of land, you know, that she's going to get buried. Because she didn't want to leave a burden on her children. And she talked about money that she has saved up, so when she dies, it'll go to her children. I don't know about her grandchildren.
Yeah,
it'll definitely go to her children. But I definitely agree with that, Cheryl. It's something that me and my wife are concerned about. I know Lamar, we talk about it as business owners and as entrepreneurs, leaving a legacy. I think about it in terms of the black community as a whole, not just the black community, but specifically the black community for what I'm saying right now, is because I know, again, the demographics across the nation and where we rank. That's something that a lot of us are not able to do. So I think about that a lot in terms of how I can help others build wealth. And again, wealth going beyond just material things, because I don't consider that wealth. It's really an opportunity, living a life that you want to live, and being able to transfer that to your children. I know Kevin thinks about that with his boys. So that is very powerful, Cheryl, definitely. Wando. Go ahead.
LOL, dudes, my wife just sent me to clean the bathroom, my shore. marriage reality. So am in her and scrubbing, listening to you guys.
Oh yeah, you gotta do them honeydews, bro. Yeah, I definitely. I tell my wife, like, I hate doing analog things, meaning anything that's not on the computer, I hate. My wife knows how much I hate that stuff.
That's real life.
But something I definitely do for my wife. So bro, I feel you. Hey, you definitely take care of your business, man. Take care of that business.
Take care of it.
Hey, happy wife, happy life.
Oh man, there's so much truth to that. That's a whole nother show, man. That's a no man allowed show where we just come in as dudes and just let it all out. Like, man, if you want happiness, you better do this.
Yeah, that's right. You congrat Mwando. He's doing what he's supposed to be doing. That's right, Nina. It's funny. Marcia said, make sure you do a good job, Mwando. Make sure you make her happy. See, I didn't smoke, but dang, I have to work on cursing. Hey, bro, like for me, like real talk. He said he didn't drink or smoke. Trey, I used to have, like, I know some people that know me now find it hard to believe. Like, even my wife, like, when I met my wife, I was already on this vein. I used to curse all the time. I used to curse so much as a teenager that I had like secondary curse words, like there weren't real curse words
But
that I would switch into when I was around my mom. Like, you know, I would just like, I was coming up with these words before there was the internet. So, bro, I know how it was. But one of the things that actually changed me was like I said, when I did a deep dive into the scriptures, I'm talking about, I did a deep dive, like I purged just about everything in my life. I literally wanted to reset who I was in life. So, I mean, the kind of purge I did might be ridiculous to some. Like, I quit listening to music. I quit watching TV.
Yep.
I quit a whole lot of things. I quit hanging out with my boys. I quit a whole lot of, and this is just me personally. Like I said, I'm the dude that jumps off the diving board and figures out how to swim when I get in the water. So what I did is not necessarily for everybody, and I don't necessarily recommend it for everybody, because I know most things say you need to do stuff gradually. Like when I became a vegan, I just stopped cold turkey like 3 days after I decided to do it.
Yeah.
I know my own personality, right? So this goes back into knowing yourself.
Yep.
If you want to work on cursing, then just stop cursing. Just be mindful of it. I know it sounds simple, but it's just being overly mindful about it. That'll help you stop certain things, and that's only if you truly want to do it. It'll help you stop certain things. And again, for me, it's beneficial because of the way I want to raise my children and the environment I want to set for them. Trust me, they've heard plenty of curse words because they have friends.
Yep.
And they play with their friends and they understand it. You know, they always like, you know, oh, they said the D word, they said the F word and all it is. However, they know it's unacceptable in our house. So it's one of those things that I'm glad maybe my wife made a conscious decision to do. Because here's the one thing about it, right? You know, for some people it may seem extreme, but here's what I know about my children. When they go places, they always get complimented on who they are as people. Always. Without a doubt. And that's one of the things that I'm happy about, right? That when they go, people, they find favor. They find favor everywhere they go. People reference them in a certain way. They have a certain reverence for our children. And it's only because of the household we set for them.
And just to kind of piggyback on that is develop your why. Like you
about.
talked about.
It's always the why, man. It's always the why.
Yeah, the culture that you want to transfer and invest and push into your children, and the legacy you want to leave further that ripples all the way down through your family tree. You want that culture to trickle all the way back up to you. Say great grandpa, great grandpa, grandma Leif, and Shauna, they did this, and this is.
And this goes back to what Sister Phillips was saying. Like for me, that's a legacy I want to live.
Yep.
That's an inheritance
you have
I
to
want to give
live
to my children.
Yeah. Man.
You're welcome, Susan. I appreciate it. Hopefully you find it helpful. Yeah.
Find your number.
That's what's up, Bilal. Definitely. Oh, I appreciate you. We definitely appreciate you, Susan. We appreciate anybody that's watching this at the moment. Again, when we say it, we actually mean it. We appreciate that you're taking time out of your day.
Yeah.
Whether it's busy, unbusy, it doesn't matter. I understand there's plenty of things going on in this world, and the fact that
especially on Facebook.
Oh yeah, especially the fact that you would take time to listen to us is a blessing.
Yep.
Peace, Black Kings. Who's that? Crystal Mendoza. What's up, Crystal?
What's up?
Amazingly beautiful. Are you two related? We're not related. I get another brother reference.
Yeah, Leif's like, fortunately, we're not blood related.
Yeah. But me and Dad are very similar. So, brothers, from Nina and brothers, thank you so much for these topics and discussions, giving us life, growth, strength, encouragement, etc. Tools for abundant living. Yeah, definitely. Again, it's funny, we're talking about advice we would give our younger selves. It's really what these conversations are, in a sense.
Yeah, that's exactly what these conversations are. Advice that I wished somebody would have whooped them to me real good when I was younger, and I probably wouldn't be here on this live stream right now. Who knows?
See, Karen, it's a good point. As long as it is legal, I don't get caught up what you do to get paid. True, that is your business, not you. That's true. That's the business and not yourself. Can you give me a referral for someone to set me up with an international trust? I want to own nothing and control everything. Give you a referral? I don't know.
I don't know who referring you on that. But I do know what they're talking about.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying as well. What I would advise you to do is find like-minded people and connect with them.
Yep. Definitely
connect with them. This actually goes into the self-learning aspect of things because, I've had the fortunate opportunity to meet a wide variety of people, like seriously, like from billionaires to homeless people. And in those discussions, the way people navigate and operate, it definitely varies. And some of those like international trust and things that are developed,
You have to be
connected.
Yeah, you have to be
Yeah,
connected.
you
you
have
have
to
to
be-
know what you're
It's
doing.
almost, some of those things are a bloodline thing, like real talk. And so, yeah, I don't want to necessarily get too much
Shoot.
into it now.
Right.
But you have to broaden the scope of the people that you know. And I'm not talking about Facebook conversation. I'm talking about broaden the scope of people that you actually know and interact
in
with.
real life.
Yeah, and this goes back to the travels, goes back to being in the right places. This is literally what you're talking about is societal navigation. Like,
Yep.
Like basically jumping through classes.
Yes,
And
man.
that's
Exactly what.
That's very hard to do. However, in this day and age, the opportunity is very present.
It's very present.
But you have to, you got to fortify your mind for sure if you want to do that, Crystal.
You gotta
Real
fortify your mind, your heart, and everything.
Your finances, all of that. Like,
The powers that be ain't just gonna let you untether yourself without a fight.
But it definitely takes like what social stratification is that they call it.
Yep.
Being able to be able to just you got to meet people. You definitely have to meet people, and it's like they say, it's not who you know, but it's who knows you. And make yourself the kind of person that you want to be. Make those connections, figure it out, and that's how you start developing those trusts that you're talking about.
Yeah, you hit on it. That's the simplicity of it. Is that when you start projecting that out, those avenues and those people, the network becomes open to you, becomes available.
Complex trusting. It's like I said, just. Yeah, it might be like, hit inboxes some specifics, and we can definitely address those things.
Okay.
For sure. Any other questions or comments? See, I think was Sister Crystal the last person?
Yeah, Crystal was the last person.
So, like I said, I know I reach, again, I get energized by questions and feedback. If there are no other questions and feedback, then you know me, my default is shut it down like a robot. Right? But yeah, definitely we appreciate everybody that stopped by. We appreciate everybody's feedback. I know Kevin wanted to give like a summarization of some of the things we talked about. Let's see. It said, yes, please read this book. It will blow your mind, and we can come back here and discuss it. Okay, what book are you referring to, brother? See, no scroll back. I don't know what that means. Yeah, I don't know what scroll back means, Sister Cheryl. See, Mwando. Yeah, post the book that you would like us to read, and we'll definitely take a look at it for sure.
Yep. Well, hey, in closing, we thank you all for just kind of coming in for our open discussion. We just love having these
you too, Susan. Have a good weekend.
Discussions and talks.
Business Secrets from the Bible. Okay. Who wrote it? Missed your comment. What was your comment, Sister Cheryl? Yeah, restate it, because again, on the phone, it gets caught up. No problem, June, bro. Thank you for tuning in, man. I wish you were still here. Definitely have you swing by the office. June Wang, love that dude. He's the first professional gamer I met. Dude from China, love him. He's good people. It's real talk.
Wow.
Yeah, Business Secrets from the Bible.
No
If
scroll
you know who wrote that, then definitely we'll take a look at it, Brother Denny.
Yeah, the question was, what would you tell your younger self? And so we appreciate y'all coming in. These stemmed from 5 lessons that
by Kyle Idleman. Okay. Daniel Lapin. Okay.
Daniel Lapin.
We'll definitely check it out. And End of Me by Kyle Idleman. Okay.
I'll definitely have to check those out.
We definitely need to mark those.
Don't sleepwalk through life. Lose fear. Stop complaining. Know your destination. Enjoy the present. So these are some things that we wished we would have told our younger selves, and that people learn too late. Thanks for joining in the conversation today.
For sure.
We definitely appreciate you, and we appreciate the feedback. The feedback is what energizes and drives us, and motivates us to keep going. And like I said, we appreciate your time and attention that you pay and spend with us, and hopefully your investment, you're getting a good return on it. If it's encouragement, edutainment, or just inspiration to kind of take that step that you've been needing, just look for us as that power moment, that pearl of wisdom, or that propagation of positivity
all the P's
that you need in life to help you gain peace, prosperity, and spiritual empowerment. So thanks for joining us.
Yeah, I'll read back. Just read one quick comment from Cheryl. Said, okay, well, anyway, it basically said update while I'm working on my vision board. Okay, say I added to my reset section 2. My skills that people paid for to make them money. Thank you. No problem. We definitely appreciate you even working on the vision board. For sure. And one thing that I just want to throw out there. I'm all about everybody improving who they are. Mm-hmm. I'm all about that because guess what? It makes the community better, and it gives me hope for my children and for myself. So
it makes your life better.
Yeah, for sure.
Our lives.
Yeah. So blessings to you for doing that. Love all of you all. Appreciate it. I know Karen said something. Shalom to you. Peace to you, sister.
I love that word.
Yeah. We love you guys. Thanks for tuning in, and we truly mean it.
Don't forget to hit like.
Yeah, like and share.
Hit share.
Definitely.
And comment on the comments.
Yep, exactly.
Peace out.